I think kids know something that us adults can really learn when it comes to being present, enjoying your life, enjoying yourself, not taking things so seriously, and actually being present with your life that you are living instead of being lost, worrying, or overthinking. And it's something that I started to do recently, and I want to share with you this mindset shift as well as the impact it has had in my life, because oh my God, I'm so much happier. Okay, let me just tell you this. If the pigtails don't say it, okay, behaving more like you are a kid. By the way, this does not mean not being responsible, because there is a big distinction between being playful and being responsible. And I think a lot of the times we confuse the two. Sometimes we think that being responsible, if you are someone that's overthinking, you're responsible, you might think that it means that you have to be always serious, always putting things in perspective. And by the way, I'm going to be painting again. I've not painted in a while, you guys. Okay, it's been a while. I'm going to show you once I'm done with the final painting. But basically, we confuse responsibility with playfulness, and we think that if we are being responsible, that means we cannot enjoy ourselves or have fun or let go or to really just go with the flow in life. But what I realized is when you let go and when you start to let your inner child out, which by the way, sometimes we don't because we have traumas in the past and we don't feel safe. You know, there is this thing that I saw, I don't remember where, but it said like, once you feel safe with someone, that's when your inner child comes out. When you are like with a partner and they make you feel safe, that's when you feel the most relaxed. You can become playful, right? So most of us, we're not being playful because we have certain traumas and we don't feel safe in life. We don't feel safe in our body or in our environments. And because of that, we're not enjoying life, because you know what? The only end destination in this life is under the dirt in a graveyard. That's where we're all going, okay? And I do not mean to sound dark in this video, but it's just the truth. So, but if you notice, that can give you more perspective to allow yourself to enjoy where you are, because you're not gonna have this experience twice. I started to apply this more when it comes to looking at situations that you can realistically do nothing about, but can actually look pretty ridiculous if you think about it. For example, I styled my hair before doing this video, okay? I had nice curls, I curled my hair, and then, you know what I did? I sprayed it with dry shampoo instead of hairspray, and I was like, why is it not sticking? So now I'm left with this, okay? It's not curls, it's whatever this is. So stuff like this, it's stuff that don't really matter. It's the stuff that you do that's like not a big deal, but you make a big deal out of it, and it stresses you out because you give it so much weight. Kids don't give things so much weight. If you look at a kid, he's not giving it that much importance. Things are not that serious, they're not that big of a deal. It's just that we believe that they are because we forgot what really matters in life. I just think sometimes we have to zoom out. Like, take your life and zoom out. Literally, when it comes to the timing of the things in your life, when it comes to the importance of things, when it comes to how much weight are you giving this, and is it really that big of a deal, and can you have fun? Can you make it funny? Can you somehow turn it around and actually find joy in it? Because abundance is a state of being. Abundance is a state of your energetic experience. And I think that the kids are the most abundant creatures on earth because they just run around and they play, apart from animals. But they just run around and they play and they enjoy life. And that's what we are here to do. Of course, we want to be responsible, okay? Like, gotta pay my rent, gotta pay my car bill. But besides those things, don't extend this to the things in your everyday life that don't matter. Like, for example, if you have fights with people, if you argue with people, and you think that whatever they did, like, it's so annoying, it's such a big deal, it really gets to you. Beyond expressing this to the other person, if you're just dwelling on it, you're forgetting the fact that we're not going to be on this earth forever. You're not going to be with this person forever. Eventually, we're all going to be gone. And so sometimes, as little as understanding that this person, this experience, this life is not a given. Like, it's such a blessing that we are alive. It's such a blessing to exist as a human inside a body on earth, okay? And we forget this, and we complain, and we moan, and we don't realize the fact that it's all temporary, okay? It will all be gone. And sometimes, literally, the reason you are so stressed, the reason you argue, the reason you think that things are so important, it's because you have lost the spark that a kid has. And while there is benefit to growing up, while there is benefit to being grounded and rational and understanding that yes, we have to be playing by the certain rules on earth, we want to build things and create, don't lose that spark when it comes to your everyday life. Don't forget your inner child, because it's in you. Like what I started to do recently, and I think the reason I even discovered this is because I started to do meditation every single day, and before I would meditate every single day, but I would do different meditations. This time I stuck to one specific meditation. It's by Joe Dispenza, by the way. And I started to do this Joe Dispenza meditation every single day consistently. And what shifted is that I had this realization that, oh my God, being alive, being able to experience, like, it's so beautiful. And I want you to be able to look at life and to look at everything as if your inner child was giving you its eyes. It was giving you an ability to see and experience this world for the first time, as if it was your first time seeing it, as if it didn't matter what people thought, because it was all just a joke anyways. Because I do think a lot of the things that we think are serious is just a cosmic joke. Think about it like this: when you're watching a movie, right? My phone is low on battery again, and my phone has been bugging out ever since I installed this update on my iPhone. I don't know, it's just been bugging out. So once you realize that, what was I saying? Yeah, when you look at movies, there is like drama, and we all watch movies, right? But what I think is that your life is like a movie. It really is. It's not just this whole main character, side character theme going around on the internet. It's really like your higher self and higher powers are watching you. And so they're laughing at a lot of the stuff that you're pissed about. And I do think of it like it's kind of a big cosmic joke. Even some of the things that happen that you're upset about or annoyed at, the upstairs people, I don't mean my neighbors, the upstairs people, meaning like whoever created humans, are probably being entertained right now, and they're laughing because they know that it's all temporary. They know it's just like a movie, and they know it's not gonna last. It's not gonna be the end of the world. And I'm not trying to invalidate the bad things that happen, okay? I understand, okay? I've been through it myself. In fact, for a while there, my coping mechanism was to just go and have fun, okay? It was a coping mechanism because I couldn't deal with life anymore. But apart from that, when you do it in a healthy way, I realized that going through this tunnel actually put me to the other side, where now I'm like, that's one of the best ways to do it, right? That now I don't look at it like, oh my God, I have to have fun because I'm coping with life, because I can't, like, I couldn't do it. Like, life put me to where I said, you know what, I can't. And I use having fun as a distraction. By the way, I don't drink, I don't do any substances. Just going out, just doing things. Oh, no, just putting paint on my blanket, okay? Just being silly and not taking things so seriously. But now, because it has become kind of a part of my identity, I feel so much lighter. It's almost like through doing this, my identity has shifted to where I don't see my past as dark anymore. I just see it as it was a calling for me to heal my inner child. I realize that the reason we feel unhappy or depressed sometimes, or whatever is going on in your life, is because there is a part of you, maybe even your inner child, that feels neglected, that feels hurt, that feels like you don't see it or you don't love it, and it wants you to love it. It wants you to be there for it. And sometimes it's all it is. And it's about being able to be present with yourself and with those feelings, no matter what it is you're experiencing. And sometimes just connecting to your inner child, literally a 5-year-old version of you. What did the 5-year-old version of you do? Which, by the way, I know people ask this question all the time, and I don't know how much I really believe with this, because I always love to paint, but I wouldn't say it gives me like ecstatic joy, okay? For me, I'm just happy, just honestly sometimes just being random, just laughing, just talking to people, just existing, talking to myself, just anything. Like, you can find joy in literally anything. I discovered the fact that I could do my hair in pigtails. I prefer to have it curled, but like when I discovered this yesterday, I was like on cloud 9. Why? I don't know, because I felt like a kid again. I felt like a kid, and that is so beautiful, okay? And I think sometimes as adults we shame childlessness, like being childish. We shame it. We think being childish is not okay. Like if you're after a certain age, you cannot wear pink, you cannot do certain things, or you cannot dress a certain way because now you're an adult, you have to wear like certain colors. Who invented those rules? If your inner child wants to go and wear pink, fluffy, whatever, then go do that. Okay? It might just inspire someone else to do it. You know why I have this hair right now? Because I saw other girls doing it, and I was like, I like that. I'm gonna try this too, and now I'm in love. Okay? But the point is that we shame this in society so much, but that's not true. Okay? There's no reason to try to suppress yourself and your inner child for anything. By the way, I love to wear black and white. Okay? I kind of live like a minimalist. That's a whole other video, but that's not always going to be material things. Like your expression of your inner child doesn't always have to be in material things. Like I don't have to go dressed like a kid, even though I'm technically kind of dressed like a kid right now because I have shorts and a skirt, whatever. But you know, you don't always have to dress like a kid to allow yourself to have fun and be playful. Because even though we grow up in our physical bodies, I do believe that we all have this inner child part of ourselves that is always alive. It never leaves you. Like your inner child has never left you. It's just deep down, buried, waiting for you to discover it. By the way, one time I did a meditation, and I think this is the reason that it came out for me big time. I did an inner child meditation once, and in that meditation, it felt like my inner child came up and she came back to this earth with me. And ever since that time, I had a hard time grounding, okay? I do feel like she has kind of returned back to her seat, and now my adult self runs the show. But when I was experiencing life through the eyes of my inner child, everything is bliss. You're blissed out because you are aware of the fact that you are able to experience life, because otherwise it's blank. Think about it. Before we go into Earth, it's blank. After we leave Earth, it's blank. I mean, yes, there is afterlife, there is all that, but having senses, having a body, having the ability to create with energy and physical things, it's such a gift, you know, and we forget that. And I think once we can learn to recognize that and focus on it, and sometimes that's all it takes. All you really need to do is just spend more time focusing on that, because what you focus on and where you put your attention is going to be the stuff that you're creating more of, and it's going to be the stuff that you are programming your mind to continue to focus on. You know, when I was going through a very dark time, I said, there's no way out. I don't see a way out. I was like, I cannot possibly escape this darkness. The only way I can get out of it is if I completely pretend it's not there, because there was no reason for me to feel this way. I just felt that way. Like there was no reason. And I said I have to pretend it's not there. Like I couldn't allow myself to spiral anymore. So what I did was I just pretended it's not there, and instead of focusing on that, I started to focus on consciously generating joy, consciously generating happiness, and doing the stuff that, even though I felt like not good doing, I felt like it's gonna help me to express and be happier and do things and interact with people. Because sometimes by focusing on the very darkness you're in, you're not going to get out of it by focusing on it, okay? You have to put your focus elsewhere. And when I started to put my focus on being happy, enjoying life, primarily it was, again, I was doing Joe Dispenza meditations for different intentions, and at that time I was kind of mix and matching them, but my general trajectory was joy, happiness, presence, abundance. Abundance is literally just being happy, sparkly is the way I think of it. And slowly I started to experience more of it because I was focusing on it, and the darkness got less and less, and now I feel like just happy, right? And it wasn't like I did some magical thing. I did no magical thing. The only thing that I did was I changed my focus. And sometimes that's all we have to do, because when you go through something, sometimes you're so narrow, laser focused on that thing that you forget everything else exists. Like, I forgot the fact that I'm so blessed to even have a freaking body, to even be like this. Yes, maybe I don't look like a Barbie doll, but like, I don't want to look like a Barbie doll. I like the way that I am, and I'm happy with that. And you know what? God made you the way he made you for a reason, and we're all blessed in something. There's something that you can be blessed in, and you just don't think about it because your focus is elsewhere. And by the way, you are not to blame for this. May not be your fault, but it is your responsibility to work with it, to adjust it. By the way, I released something recently called light language, and I feel like it's easier for me to speak light language than English. So by the way, if you guys want any more light language, let me know what kind of intentions you would like, because I'm thinking if I should create more of that. But anyways, just being focused on the right things, being focused on the joy and happiness and gratitude will shift your entire life. I used to do this trick where when something negative would happen, I would trick myself and I would spend 60 seconds mindlessly naming the stuff that I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for my hands, I'm grateful for my body, I'm grateful for water, I'm grateful for my eyes, I'm grateful for the air, I'm grateful for this clothing, I'm grateful for whatever. Every single thing. I'm grateful for this brush, I'm grateful for the paint and the painting, and every single thing I could see around me, literally everything I could see. I'm grateful for this foam roller, I'm grateful for this blanket, everything. It would actually shift my state of being because I would completely forget about what I was thinking about and just start being grateful. Now, you don't have to do this. You can just have a more general practice and adopt an identity of someone that focuses on gratitude, because sometimes, life on its own will never really shift until you shift. Sometimes we wait for life to shift. We wait for things to happen. We want things to happen. We want things to be better or different. But sometimes nothing is going to happen until you change yourself or you change your actions. And sometimes it's just as simple as changing yourself. You don't always need some magical solution. You don't always need some huge grandiose thing. Sometimes it's the simple things that really matter. It's the simple things that really make the biggest difference, because when I was going through a dark time, like, I couldn't figure out how to get out of it, and nothing material would fix it. There was nothing in the material plane that I could be, do, or have that would help. Nothing. The only thing that helped me was when I changed my focus to being grateful, to being happy, to healing my inner child, letting my inner child come out and play and not judge her. Don't judge your inner child, okay? Just let it come out and play, because what's more important for you? Being happy and being here for yourself, or getting approval from some random stranger that you'll never see again in your life? Most people, you're not going to see again in your life. So why does it matter? You are more important. Your inner child is more important. Hell, your mental health and happiness is more important than someone else's approval. Your approval is what matters. So when I started to heal my inner child, when I started to just be grateful, just focus on this feeling of gratitude, and really gratitude, honestly speaking, I'm just trying to think about it as I'm speaking, but really that's what helped me. And it was like a gradual process. Like, the more I focused on it, the better I felt. The better I felt, the more I focused on it, and the better I felt. And it's like a spiral, right? It's like once you gain momentum, sometimes the hardest part is the start of that momentum. But once you have the momentum rolling, it becomes so much easier, and you can just keep rolling on it, and you have the absolute full control of which trajectory your life is going, right? Like, you are given the remote control. You're given the remote control to decide how you're going to feel and what you're going to focus on. And that is your mind. That is your focus. That is your thoughts and feelings and beliefs. And you can start changing them by choosing to change your focus. And for me, like, the biggest thing that helped was I just started doing Joe Dispenza meditations, because I felt like there's no self-help video that would help. There's no anything on the internet that I could watch that would really change the way that I felt, because sometimes when you feel how you feel, you're just in the state where you've kind of learned that, you know what, this is what it is, and sometimes you can't figure out with the brain. Sometimes you're not supposed to find a solution with the brain. You're supposed to just shift your identity. It's like Einstein says, you cannot solve a problem with the same state of consciousness with which created it. If you want a solution, you have to shift your state of being and your consciousness to a same place, on the same plane and the same vibration on which that solution exists. And then you can find that solution. And sometimes it does look like distraction, okay? For me, distraction was literally just going out and having fun and just not thinking. Sometimes we need to just not think. Just literally just forget it all. And I think it's healthy in healthy amounts. Again, I'm not encouraging like going and drinking because I don't drink or smoke or none of that because I don't like how it feels. And so just going and like just being silly is enough, okay? Not taking yourself serious, not taking life seriously, and just taking that brain and giving yourself the permission to turn it off, okay? There is a switch called permission to yourself that allows you to take that brain and just tell it, zip it. And by the way, I am mostly done with this painting. I think next time I'm going to be painting the sides of this, and I'm sorry if you can't see the painting because I don't really know how to paint at this angle, but it's mostly done. I'm probably going to darken this a little bit, and I just have to finish this angle here. And then I really don't like painting the sides like this part here. I hate doing it, but I am going to do it because that makes me feel like the painting is complete. But it's mostly done. It's funny because like the dark colors that I started adding came from a very interesting emotional place. But just like anything, you know, the dark times, they can either make you or break you. By the end of the day, they don't define you. They just reveal you to yourself, okay? So I hope that this video was helpful for you. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you have any other topic suggestions or intentions that you guys would like for light language, because I do feel like it's easier for me to speak light language than English, but it is very new for me and I'm still trying to figure out like which direction do I want to go that would be best, because it is ultimately my intention with this channel is to help you be more free and to be more free myself, and just to share with you the stuff that I do, to just feel more free as a person and not be constrained by society or yourself, really, honestly, just yourself, because the only one holding you back is you, because you're the creator. Anyways, thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.